Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the CGR. So I'm finally gonna do the video that I was talking about of the lights. Hopefully one day I can find a nice dash from an Impala and just swap that out. But for now, we're just gonna keep this digital. I've also seen Dakota digital dashes, but that is around $800 to $1,000. Sorry, $800 to $1,000. That just includes a part. That's not even an install. I had somebody ask me about my airbag on the last steering wheel video, and if you haven't seen this video on the steering wheel, check it up here. It is so no, I could drive the vehicle. It's just that light turns on, and no, it doesn't beep. Just stays on. That's it. But he did bring up something interesting that I don't know if it's true or not. He said, when you remove the bulb, did it beep? Well, I'm not that far yet. So actually, that's what I'm gonna do next. This might be a two-part video. One part just talking about the bulb swap, and the other part talking about just the airbag, following up the video on the steering wheel. So all I needed was, I got these bulbs from Amazon. This is what it says is the size for that. They are supposedly, I believe, a bright white. And they even have the little caps for them to sit on there if those bulbs don't remove, because there is some cars that the bulb is actually soldered to the connector. So you got the bulbs and connector here. I think this was about $10 to $15, not bad, and you get a good amount. And I think the only ones that swap out are this one, the one for the, where it shows you like what shift, if you're in park, reverse, drive, the fuel, the oil level or pressure, the battery, and the coolant one. These brake and ABS, that's on because this car does need brakes, so that's gonna get done soon. And of course, so obviously I don't got my seatbelt on right now, I'm just recording, and I have my airbag one. This airbag one is gonna always be on this vehicle because you saw my last video, we removed the airbag. It's not coming back on here. So there is a bulb behind there, but what I'm gonna do is remove that bulb, put the cluster back on, turn it on, and see if that's true. I don't know if maybe the car beeps because the bulb goes out. It's my first time doing this, so I'm gonna try it out. And basically, I'm removing that bulb just because, I mean, I could put a picture up here and cover it, but I'm not gonna do that. So there's a bulb for that right there. So I'm gonna remove that bulb, and I remember that it's gonna be first one, second row here, because when you look in the back, you might not remember, is this one, that one, here, here, here. So I remember second, right, first one here. So we'll be removing that, and what you're gonna need first is the 7mm. So I have it here. A lot of people don't put these bolts back just because they remove it a lot. Remove this here. There's one here, one there. Tilt your steering wheel a little down. Put this into drive so the shifter goes down, and grab it from a corner. Pop it, and it'll curve out and it'll come out. So I'm gonna do that. Let me do that, and once I finish doing that, I will start recording on the next piece that we need to do. So let me get started with that. Okay, so as you can see, all I did was that, remove that, those two bolts. I put my shifter down, popped it out from each corner. That's what you get. I obviously had to remove the mic just to get it out the way. Put that back later. Next step. So I was told that I need to remove these screws right here. I'm not sure what size they are, so I'm gonna have to go get some 1/4 sockets, and I mean, once I find out the size, I'll obviously let you guys know. So I'm gonna figure that out next, because those screws basically just hold on this plastic cover here. And as you can see, once we remove this plastic cover here, this back plate removes off. So you got the clear one, and then you got this black one, or this little, it removes. And the reason we need to do this first is because, as you can see, there's a cable right here. 1 second. This cable, that's for your shifter right here. That's basically what moves this. A little orange moves it here, here, here. So we need to remove this out the way, so we can take off that cable. And basically after that, actually I'm gonna record back again when I have this cover off. When I have this cover off, I'll let you guys know. And so let me remove that, and we'll move on to the next step. All right, guys. So I did exactly what I told you. I just removed those screws, the corner ones. It was a 732. I just used a 1/4 with 2 extensions, just so that way I didn't have to go by slow. And like I said, first thing you do, this comes off first. And now that I got it off, look how dirty it is. So give me a perfect chance to clean this. So this just comes off. And after that, this comes off. And after that, this comes off. So they're just layered on top of each other.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man? Bro, I'm out, man. That nigga's tripping.
And now you can see what I'm talking about. That was my, I believe, ABS light. I think this was my seatbelt light. I forgot what was this. But here's my airbag light. Don't mess with these, with the display or the needles. Don't touch them at all. You touch them on yourself, that's on you. Next thing I need to do is figure out how to remove that cable so that I can take off this screw. There's 4 of them, and have this whole piece come off, because I need access to the back so that I can get those bulbs in on here, that, and that. Like I said, don't touch the needles. Don't mess with them. You're not gonna go nowhere. The only reason we did all this is because we need access to that cable. So once I figure out how that cable goes, well, let me see if I can zoom in really good. Which is, you can see, give me 1 second. I know the video's a little blurry right now. So you can see that cable, it looks like it's just in a loop with that square. I think that's it. So, and that cable's like routed specifically somehow right there. And I might need a pick for that, but take your time. So I'm gonna try to pick that cable off. Once I have it, I'll show you guys what I will do next.
2 hours later.
I want to make sure I show this. So I'm not touching my needles, but this cover actually comes off. It comes off and it'll give you access to the back of this cable. So I'm gonna do that, remove these 4 screws. Once we get that cable loose and it's not on the shifter no more, then we could take out the 4 screws, which look like they're 7 mil, and then we could take out the whole cluster out. Probably once I'm gonna take the cluster out, I might just lay this plastic one over it, just so it covers those needles, so I don't accidentally touch it. Like once I take that piece off, I might just, like I said, I might just put that gray one back on, just so that I'm not touching the needles. That's it. So like I said, take your time. Let me do this, and once I have it off the car, we'll move on to the next step. Okay guys, so I did get the cable off. I just put it to the side. So unfortunately, I didn't know this, but I have to kind of loosen up this bottom panel. I won't be showing it on this video because it just takes time, and I've already done it on the stereo replacement. So if you haven't seen that video, check it out, or check out the channel and you'll see that video on how to remove this. Because the reason is, in this corner, all the bolts are loose, but it's really tight. On that corner, apparently this cluster is just plugged in. There's just a socket back there which is plugged in. And there's a lot of pressure, and I can't get it loose without removing this out the way so that I can put my hands on the bolt corners right there and pull it off evenly without breaking anything. So I don't want to break anything, so I'm going to have to do that, unfortunately. So I'm going to have to remove this panel out of the way. So if you haven't seen that video, go to my stereo replacement, check it out. That's what I'm going to do next. Once I remove this, I will pull this off. After that, this whole thing should come off. There's nothing else holding it on there. So check out that video, and I'm going to move on to that next step. All right, so as you can see, it was that. So you got that plug right there, and then you also have a plug right there. And that's how it is. So those are really, really hard to get. So once you remove that lower dash, how I did, I just got like a little angle pick on both sides, and I pulled it about the same time, and it came right off. And here are your twist tabs for the bulbs. I hope they're the right size bulbs. If they're not, I'm not gonna put this back together. I'll just order the right size bulbs. But so I gotta remember which one of these was the... Oh, I also put the plastic cover on the front because it was moving too much, and I was messing around too much with the... I moved the battery one a little bit, but once I plug it in, I think it'll move back into its original position. So I just put that back so that you can avoid having that problem. So the main ones that we are replacing are, believe, are this one, all the green ones. Here is the one for the parking reverse neutral, the temp ones. Those are the green ones. And hopefully, if I can find the turn signal one, don't remember which ones they are. Might be, I think it's this one. Oh, hold on. I gotta look at, might be actually this one and this one. I gotta look at the front. I might replace those if they're the same bulb, so they blink white. So these, you just twist them. I might need some pliers to get a good force to twist them. And the problem is that since they're LED, I'm gonna have to put the bulbs in, push it back in, turn it on, make sure all the bulbs turn on, and if it doesn't, I have to take it off and spin the bulb, put it back in till it's right. So I'm gonna do that next. I'm gonna remove these with like some pliers or something, something to give me more leverage, and I'll let you guys know if the bulbs I have are the right ones. Okay, so it's actually the next day now. So what I was filming earlier was Sunday. It's actually Sunday. I mean Saturday. It's actually Sunday now. So yeah, they weren't the right bulbs. So I'm gonna list the bulbs that are gonna work in the description below. Somebody told me they were T5, T6, I believe. That's why it's a smaller bulb. But they weren't, and thank God for Amazon and next day shipping. So honestly, if you don't got Amazon, yeah, buy it or get it, because I got this the same day I figured out that they weren't the right ones. So I got the sockets and the bulbs, the LEDs, for I I think they were $13.99 and free next day air, or not next day air, next day shipping. But here they are. So I didn't even put the car back together because what's the point? So now that I have all these, it's just swapping them out. I'm gonna swap them out, and then I have to actually put it back in there and make sure they light up, because if they don't light up, I have to take it off again, and I have to take it off again, and I have to make sure, because you know how LEDs are, if they don't light up, you have to take it off and rotate it and put it back in. So gotta make sure it all turns on before you put all of this back together, because as you can see, look at, yeah, it's a lot of stuff. But remember guys, I've never taken out a speedometer from a Caprice before. I've never done this, so if I could do this, honestly, you could do it too. I've never taken off this before on a car like this, so you know, this stuff I'm doing, you might think you can do it, but I'm doing it with just a few sockets, screwdriver, and some patience. So you could do it too. So let me get these bulbs in. Once I know everything's on there for sure, I'll probably start recording once I have it back in and like all those layers back on, and show you guys how it looks. So alright guys, so as you can see, I'm golden. These lights I'm not worried about. I remember one of them was like an ABS. I think this was a check engine, and I forgot what the other two were. Not worried about that. For the person concerned about the what light was it? Oh, the airbag light. So as you can see, I just removed the bulb and it's gone. That's it. So no more airbag light showing. No, it's not beeping, so you can hear it. Took me 2 tries to figure it out, but as you can see, this is lit up, this is lit up, right here where the reverse and all that is going to be lit up. This is lit up, and then this is lit up. I'm not changing. I was gonna do the turn indicators, but I think on that screen, regardless if I change them, it's gonna show up as green. It'll probably just be a brighter green, but because you can see the bulbs, they're just white. But I think that that film is already got like a color. So as you can see, I could turn it off. So you see the difference, and that's what it on. So looks really nice already. So honestly, I can't wait to see it with everything back together. So obviously, when you're putting it back together, don't forget to pass this wire. It's gonna go like under here. There, you can see the box right there, and we're gonna have to hook. We're gonna have to hook that back up. Remember, don't forget that. So what I'm gonna do next is, so it's all in here. I'm gonna end up putting the 4 bolts that hold it in, put it back, and then like I said, I just put this cover just to protect the needles from me like damaging them or moving them, bending them, anything. I just put it to protect it. So I'm gonna remove it, and once I remove it, I'm gonna clean that cover, because you can see it's like really dirty. So I'm gonna clean that cover, and so put those 4 bolts that I had holding the cluster in first, and then once I do that, I'll take off that cover, clean it, and then I'll start layering these pieces back. That one goes in first, that one goes in second, and then this clear one goes on third. You put all those screws around it and put that. Once you're satisfied with everything, I wouldn't put this lower dash panel back on, because if you're not satisfied with something, or if you're working on it and for some reason an LED turns off, then maybe it was a little too loose, you can remove it. Because if you put all this back together, you're gonna have to remove it regardless. So like I said, I'm gonna do each thing step by step, and once I do that, I'll get back to the video with it on, and if I'm satisfied how it is, you'll see this next part with everything back on already. So let me do that now and we'll move on. All right, so finally got everything back together. You know, those wires are already there. You've seen the video on this, you know why they're there. So the only thing I am going to tell you guys is make sure you route that cable that moves that needle the right way. Because I was putting it the wrong way, and when it was in park, it was almost like a neutral. The needle would stay in neutral. So I took some pictures before I took it off. So take some pictures before you take it off so you see how the wire goes. And as you can see, it's dead even park. It's even better now because there used to be a little bit not even right on the P, but now it's on the money right there. So good thing I checked that before. I was already going to start putting everything back together. And so imagine if I would have got this far and then I noticed that it was on neutral, I would have to take everything off again. So, I mean, definitely check your work before you finish. And I can't stress this enough. Take your time. You already know if you have a car like this or if you're looking for a car like this, pieces for this car aren't easy to find. And if you find them, they're not cheap either. So take your time. It's mostly plastic. It's a 94-year-old car. I'm sorry, it's a 94 car and 20-something plus years old. So, you know, take your time. I'm going to show you guys how it looks now. So that's with it on. And so look at that. Nice. That looks way better. I can imagine how it's going to look at night. So that looks super clean. I like that. Real nice. And yeah, I did look at this these other ones. I was going to change the bulbs, but this thing already has like a layer that's colored for it. So if you change it to like white, don't expect it to be the turn signal white. It will be brighter green, but it won't be like a white turn signal because this piece is already colored to whatever specific area or whatever thing that is. Like if I change this, it's one of my brake lights, so it's just gonna shine more amber or red. It's not gonna be a white one. So I didn't even bother changing it. But I honestly could have finished all this yesterday if I wasn't recording, doing anything, explaining and all that. I probably could have finished if you take your time within 30 to 40 minutes. Definitely about an hour and a half project, but it's worth it. As you can see, so worth it. Like, it looks really nice. And anybody wondering, no, these LEDs are not like baby blue. These are just super bright white. That's it. They're plain white. The ones I use in the description below. Good thing, well, I figured it wasn't these, so my loss, but I can still save these. I think these can work on the Escalade because the Escalade's got the little clock on here. I think it's this size, so I'll replace those soon. So regardless, save them. And eventually, if one of them ever goes bad, I got a spare here. So actually, I'm gonna throw this in the glove box now. There you go. Have a spare all the time. Other than that, it's a real easy project to do. I'm telling you, if you think you can't do it, you could do it. I don't have any knowledge, and I've never took off a speedometer, especially on a car this old, off and breaking it down that far. I've never done that. I never took... Hopefully you guys seen the steering wheel. If you haven't seen the video, check out my channel. The stereo, check that out. Got a lot of videos on this car. So I'm telling you guys, not that many Caprice channel videos out there. So if you do like this content, man, make sure you subscribe. Because like I'm telling you, there is such much more stuff coming for this car. And I already have some 26s coming in for this car. And also we are going to do the extended trailing arms and extended upper rear arms so that we don't have that weird tuck on the rim. so that it's not kind of like it looks kind of crooked. If you own a bubble, you know what I'm talking about on those rear wheels. We're gonna center that rear wheel out. So we're gonna have some 26s on this, no lift. The shop's gonna do the cut for the rear. That's it. I want those rims as tucked as I can. So we're gonna have those rims coming for this summer. So I mean, it's just a lot more stuff coming in this car. So I mean, why not subscribe now? And if you don't have a YouTube channel, make one. I'm telling you, I have a lot more content coming out for this car. That way you don't miss it. You could do this mod to your car. I'm pretty sure I've seen it done on the 94 and 96 Impala SS's. I know those dashes have they're more analog. They don't even have like the digital speedometer, but the process is the same. In the back, it has those same sockets. Whether these bulbs work, my money is probably the same, but you know, if you want to take it off first, then order it, you know, do that. If not, take my word for it. And so other than that, I'm gonna leave you with this one more time. Really, really nice. So with that being said, I'll catch you guys on the next one. All right, guys. So I wanted to give you guys a nighttime view of how it looks. So luckily I'm in a garage right now. So I'm just waiting for the little light on the garage door to turn off. And so you can see how it looks on the inside. Give you an idea how it look at nighttime if you do this very easy mod. So, I mean, here, let me turn them on. Just look at that. That looks way better. I think that color is way better because remember, these are bright white LED. They're not like a baby blue or any other kind. These are just bright white. You could buy these LEDs in red, purple. If your car's red, put them in red. If you know, you could put them in whatever LED color you want. Man, those ambers are super bright. If you haven't seen that video on the headlight install, man, check that out. But yeah, this was just to give you an idea of how it looks at night. That's really, really bright. It makes the car stand out more for sure, easily. Only other thing I could think of is maybe somehow figuring out how to change the LEDs in these, but I think for now I'm just gonna leave it as is. Not too concerned about that. You know, this is not my daily driver car, so I'm not really too worried about that. So, I mean, it's a quick, easy mod. You could do it. It's not quick. It just takes time and some patience. Put a little patience in, and you could do it. And then I just got these mats in. So, obviously, you know, WeatherTech doesn't make mats for a 94 Caprice. So I just ordered these off eBay. Put a little Chevy logo on them. Why not? I think I got the fronts for 25 bucks and the rears for 25 bucks. So 50 for the all four. And I didn't have mats in here before. I just had like some factory ones. But yeah, as you can see, it's real easy to do. Follow the steps I did. Take your time. Don't hurry. Don't try to force anything out. Because once again, these cars are 20 plus years old. And they can easily break. So I hope you enjoy this. And if you did enjoy it, man, please just subscribe. I'm telling you, I got more content for this car. This car's not going anywhere. I have the rims coming in. And we have a lot more to do. Trust me. So I'll catch you guys on the next.